Today, I want to start off with a little story. This story is about a camel. A mother camel and her baby were lying down soaking up the sun. The baby camel asked his mom, "Why do we have these big humps on our back?" The mom stopped to think, and then she said, "We live in the desert where there is not much water available. Our humps store water to help us survive on long journeys." The baby camel then stopped to think and said, "Well, why do we have long legs with rounded feet?" His mother replied, "They were meant to help us walk through the sand." The baby asked a third question, "Why are my eyelashes so long?" The mother replied, "Your long eyelashes offer you protection from the sand when it blows in the wind." Finally, the baby said, "If we have all of these natural abilities given to us to walk through the desert, what's the use for camels in the zoo?" So the moral of the story is, you have all sorts of talents. You have all sorts of abilities, and everyone is different, and everyone is extremely capable and extremely talented in different environments. You, while weight loss might not be something that you've done on a regular basis or tackled before or had success with if you have tackled it, it doesn't mean you are not capable. You have plenty of skill sets and you utilize them in many other areas of your life. You are likely extremely successful in your professional life, in your home life. You are a wonderful friend. You are a wonderful family member to people. You have all sorts of talents and skills when it comes to possibly, maybe your thing is cooking. Maybe you are an artist. Maybe you can build things. Whatever it is, you are an extremely capable person. And these are things you need to remind yourself when you tackle your weight loss goals. Just because it's something that you maybe haven't found the exact right mix for, or you haven't had the right tools to accomplish, all you need to do is utilize the skills that you utilize in other areas. It's not a matter of capability. It is more a matter of you have not found the right path. You haven't had the right map to guide you to that goal. Maybe you've gone off and tried getting in some sort of taxi and going through the city when what you really should have had was a plane to take you to the next stop on your journey. Whatever metaphor you want to throw in here, just get that visual in your mind that it's not about your capability. It's about the fact that maybe you're in the zoo rather than the desert. What we need to do is figure out how to get you in the right place, give you the right tools, and help you work through the challenges that continue to come up. But in the meantime, I want you to remember that it is so often your mentality, your brain telling you that you can't do this or you can't do that. It's your brain getting you frustrated. It is not the capability of your body. It is not impossible for you to do the things you need to do to lose weight. We just perhaps haven't found the exact right spin or mix or environment that we need to put you in order to be successful in this one particular area. So one thing I want you to continue to do is think about when you do have yourself in that prime environment, when you are your camel in your desert and you are tackling those skills or accomplishing those goals that you are just amazing at. If you're cooking some amazing meal, you didn't just wake up knowing how to do that. You didn't just snap your fingers and one day know how to make a souffle. Excuse me. You followed instructions. You practiced. You probably had a couple souffles fall. If you were a carpenter, you didn't know how to just cut those angles perfectly to make that structure that you've built. You slowly learned, you slowly, cut once and messed up twice and then learned to measure twice and cut once. You developed those skills over time, then you honed in on them. Now, the benefit here is you likely, when you have a skill set, really enjoy it. So when you naturally are inclined for something and it's something that you truly love to do, of course, it's easier to work through those steps. It's easier to learn those skills because you're craving it. You're excited to do it. You're like, oh, I can't wait to see what I can build next. Oh, I can't wait to see what, how delicious this souffle is going to be when I get it right. So you may not remember all of the challenges and the setbacks that you actually got through when you tackled those other things, those things that you're wonderful at, because you were excited to do it. It wasn't something that was a burden. Weight loss isn't necessarily something that is exciting. It's not really something where you would be like, oh, that's a skill I'm going to put on my resume. But it is just plain and simple another challenge that you get to tackle. There are steps that you take. There are trials and tribulations that you work through, and you are 100% capable of doing it. Even if you've been unsuccessful in the past, especially if you've been unsuccessful in the past, it's only because you didn't have the right tools, you didn't plan out correctly, you didn't stick with it long enough to get to that feeling of, oh, okay, I've got this. Now I understand. Now this is when I add the flour or the salt or the sugar, or, oh, I had the oven too hot. Again, you might not remember all of the things that you've learned when it's something you love and you enjoy doing, and you don't think of it as a challenge when it's something you're truly flourishing in and enjoying every step of. So that is why I am so particularly always pushing, always just involved in and trying to bake in that feeling of how can I enjoy this more? That upbeat, happy positivity. I talk about it nonstop. Why? Because again, if you compare learning something you love over trying to tackle this problem that you most likely don't care for nearly as much, it only feels like such a burden because it's something you're not enjoying. So we know when we up the enjoyment factor, when we increase the fun quotient, when we make it so it's less of a burden, it is easier to get through. When we can figure out ways to build in activities and movements that get you burning calories, but it's not something that you dread, you're not going to think about it as something that was miserable or terrible or that you have to do. We have to get to where we are finding parallels in the skills that you love, the natural abilities that you have, and how we can utilize those things and apply them to your weight loss journey and your overall health and wellness lifestyle. Because again, everything that you learn, everything that you're practicing in order to lose in the first place are the same exact tools you're going to utilize as you get to your goal and you want to stay at that goal weight. So today I want you to think about, what are you good at? What do you love? What do you enjoy? What are you amazing at? What are those skills that help you get through the desert? What are the things that people compliment you on? Next, think about the feelings that are involved when you do engage in those activities. That feeling of pride and I've got this, that confidence, that resolution. Remember back maybe though to the very beginning when you were first learning those skills. I guarantee there was stumbling blocks, there was frustrations, there was, times you didn't do so well on them, and then you learned, and then you optimized, and then you moved forward. Try to remember that that's the same exact application of process that we are going to build into your healthy lifestyle plan, your weight loss goals, and your staying at that goal weight forever plan. We want to make it easier on you. We want to develop that plan in a way that is not something that you dread, that is as easy for you as possible, and that you start to gain that confidence, that you realize it's a skill set. You realize that it's something that you can work through in the same way that you have all the other things you've been successful at in your life, and then you can enjoy pieces and elements of it, and you can gain confidence in it. And when we get you to the goal weight, you know how to stay there. You are now just as capable in that realm of your life as you are in all of the other ones that you are awesome at now. So today, think about your camel hump. Think about all of your skills and abilities. Let's see how we can apply not only that concept of what you're good at and how you got good at it to this weight loss journey, but also just remember it's just as important. It is just as, simple. It's the exact same methods and process as you used in those areas that we're going to turn around and apply to this area. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful, happy, upbeat, positive, exciting day, and I will talk to you soon. Today